Hello, YPRS Nation. Welcome to another episode of You People Race Speaks. Today, I am going to cover 5 things you should consider when choosing a title for your book. Now, I'm doing it a little bit differently today, and I'm going to be consulting my notes frequently throughout this video because even though there are only 5 things, the content is very involved, and I want to make sure that I do not miss anything that I plan to share with you. Okay. Oh, if this is your first time here, my name is Caroline Smiley. I am a book editor and I work with authors who have a desire to amplify the voice of the Black and Brown community in genres where we are underrepresented. Okay, so it is recommended that you have a title picked out before you even begin to write your manuscript. However, if you don't, it is not the end of the world. In fact, I say go ahead, write your manuscript. And in the process of doing that, you will find that ideas will come to you for what you want to call it, what you want to title your book. Actually, by the end, you may have several titles in mind. And after you go through the process of picking a title, you may end up using one of those, or you may find yourself using one that you never thought of originally altogether. So the first thing that you want to do is you want to make sure that your title matches your content and the genre that you've chosen. So in terms of content, the best way to make sure that that happens is you want to reread your manuscript and you want to hone in on key portions that drive your story. This way, as you're thinking of a title, you will always have the content of your book in the forefront of your mind as you brainstorm. Now, you should go ahead and see what titles are being used in the genre that you have chosen and model your title after those. Don't plagiarize, don't use somebody else's title, but just look at what they've done and follow suit. And the reason you want to do this is because readers tend to buy books that are similar to books that they've already read and enjoyed reading. So if you have a title that is similar to books in your genre, then this will give you a better chance of converting your book into sales. The second thing is you want to entice your readers. And the way to do this, there are a couple ways to do this, and one of them is ask a question. So if your book title is a question, immediately someone will look at it and want to find out what the answer is. And that will lead them to flip to the back, read your book description, and or if it's listed on Amazon, then they will do that, where they can do a sneak peek and read a couple of it because that initial question grabbed them and made them want to find out more. The other thing is you should use descriptive words. Descriptive emotional trigger words. Let me just make that clear. So instead of saying cool, it's cool compared to exciting or jaw-dropping. So an example is Jane's cool summer adventure versus Jane's jaw-dropping summer adventures. Now, someone is going to gravitate towards the jaw-dropping in that title because they want to know what was it that happened in her, over her summer that made it so, made her adventure so jaw-dropping, so exciting, and, and that will pull them right in. The third thing is you want to try not to make your title too lengthy, unless it's catchy, right? But your title should ideally be between 1 to 5 words. Now, this is because you want your title to be memorable. If someone is browsing today and they intend to purchase at a later date, you want them to remember the title of your book easily when they go back with the intent to purchase. Also, keep in mind that what the thumbnail of your book will look like. So if you have a lengthy title, then the font has to be decreased to fit that title. And then it's hard for someone to read the title in a thumbnail. So if you cannot avoid a lengthy title, then you may want to break it into a main title and a subtitle. And then the main title will have larger print font, and then the subtitle will have smaller print. That way they'll at least remember that portion, the larger print portion of the title, and not forget what your title is when they go searching for it, what the title of your book is when they go searching for it. Um, and on that, just let me make a note about one word titles here. One word titles can be very effective, but just remember that using one word makes your book harder to find in online search engines. This is because a search engine is going to pull up every book or item that includes your word. So, this is another place where you may want to consider using a subtitle again to help narrow the filter when someone is searching for your book online. And the fourth thing that I want to talk to you about today, when choosing a book title, is use keywords. You want your title to be different and intriguing, like your manuscript, but you don't want it to be so unique that no one can find you in the search engines. So, make sure you use those popular keywords. Again, you can check your genre and see what the popular keywords are and duplicate that. Or use similar words. And then another way to use keywords is take inspiration from the lyrics of your favorite song or search for songs that relate to the genre of your book and use those words from those type songs as your title. Now, if you decide to use the actual lyrics as your book title, please consult a lawyer because you don't want to end up with copyright or intellectual property infringement. The fifth and final point is test your book title. Now, there are a few different ways that you can test your book title, right? You can do it free with family and friends, but keep in mind that they will be biased most likely because this is you and they love you, so they will love your book title by default. Um, Another free is you can test it in a Facebook group that you're a part of, or you can join a Facebook group for authors and writers and ask them what they think about your title, and they will give you some honest raw feedback, or we hope they'll give you honest raw feedback. And then you can do a poll. Now, there are two that I came across as I was doing some research, and SurveyMonkey is a very popular one. And SurveyMonkey, you can sign up for a free account or you can do a paid account, and then you can do your poll that way. And you send that link to your friends and your family, and you ask them to send it to their friends and their contacts and ask those people to participate in the poll. So then you're not just getting your friends and family again, but you've widened the pool, and now you have strangers who are commenting on whether or not they think that your book title is great for your manuscript. The other one that I came across is pickfew or pickfew. I'm not quite sure of the pronunciation, but it is Pickfu. And this is a testing service that for a fee will allow you to set up an anonymous poll. So this one is going out to complete strangers who then give their feedback anonymously, and you will be able to see how your book title will rate in the real world in real time. Okay, so let me just say this. Keep in mind that a bad title may not necessarily stop you from making book sales, because if you have a great book cover design and book description, you can still attract readers. Equally, having a great book title may not translate to massive book sales, right? But what you want to do is you want to do everything in your power to stack the deck in your favor. So you want to make sure that you do some research, that you spend some substantive time, okay? Spend quality time, not just quickly coming up with an idea, but you really want to go through and make sure that the title that you're picking for your book matches your book and that it will give you the best chance to turn your book into passive income. So, before I go, one, if you have a manuscript that you are ready to turn from idea to bestseller, click on the link below and book your free discovery call with me today. Also, there is a link below that will take you to my free guide that is titled How to Go from Penned to Published in 5 Steps. Now, if you like this content and you want to see more, subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell, and you will receive notice every time I upload a video. Let me leave you with this thought from Booker T. Washington. Never get to the point where you will be ashamed to ask anybody for information. The ignorant man will always be ignorant if he fears that by asking another for information, he will display ignorance. Better once display your ignorance of a certain subject than always know nothing of it. Until next time, happy writing.